All right. Hello, everyone, and hello to those watching. And of course, hello, Mem. We're going to do a little interview here with the host of King of the Desert 5. It's my first time as an interviewer, but I hope I selected some good questions. Going to be mainly focusing on KOTD and some questions regarding AW2 and just your journey as a streamer, Mem. So, first of all, good to see you. Hello, and how's it going?
Well, it's going pretty well. We have been not so long ago with your interview winner because you just
Yeah.
won, and when you people see the video, we just were together. So I'm very fine. I'm a little bit tired because I've been streaming for many hours.
Yeah. I know how it goes with the days being very long. But yeah, this is the perfect segue into the first question. So basically, KOTD5 just started. It's been like a week or the first week gone by, and it's the biggest tournament you've hosted, and it's $80,000 in prize pool. How do you feel going into a project like this? Are you excited, anxious, or is it just like a lot of hard work that you got to put in that you're focused on?
I think all what you said is a yes.
Okay.
It's a mixed thing. It's exciting. It's stressful. Uh, it's I sleep worse when the tournaments come. For example, I
Mhm.
mean, I usually put the alarm to go to the gym. Don't need anymore. I wake up very early. I'm waking up lately 6 a.m. every day. You know,
Wow.
I don't sleep anymore for some
Mhm.
reason. I have always things in mind, and then I go to check if the videos for YouTube upload. Try to make everything, that everything is fine. And I have great people working with me, but you always, at least me, always you want to check that everything is fine. But
Mhm.
it's difficult. It's
Yeah.
it's mixed feelings, and I'm someone that I cares about everything. Every single detail, I like that everything is perfect. Perfect is different
Mhm.
for each person. But well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and one thing I see from like this the the standings, I play, but I also watch a lot of the tournament and I see your channel. And one thing that I'm always impressed by is how good your overlays are and your graphics. I think that is one thing you put a lot of effort into. Is this like really important to you, like having good overlays for the viewers?
I think they like it. They appreciate that,
Hmm.
and I like it too because if you then rewatch the VODs after, you can notice, or you put in a big screen, it's look. I don't like the word because it's look like professional. What is professional?
Hmm.
Because I mean, you maybe don't have, not you in general, you don't have a
Hmm.
overlays, but doesn't mean that you are not a professional. No, but for me, it's
Hmm.
important. It's something that I like it. I'm in my daily streams. It's completely different. When I host tournaments, I have good overlays, but it's not nothing to do the streams and the channel. I like it personally.
Hmm.
And honestly, we have to remember a little bit also. I will always have been trying to do like this, but I like it this similar approach with Red Bull events when the pandemic. It was
Hmm.
similar. Not gonna lie that it was similar with these kind of frames with the cameras. I personally like it, but it's also expensive, because all this it costs money, So yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of extra investment, but the result is obviously going to be better. And for me personally, I think it elevates the event because it just looks nice. I can watch hours of the event, and there's always the smooth transitions, and everything flows well. So for me personally, I can see that it's doing really well. You've hosted other events such as Battle of Africa and now recently Warlords. What makes KOTD out of all the events you've hosted special that you've already come to edition number 5 of it?
I think Arabia is the best map, in my opinion. I mean,
Mhm.
maybe can be repetitive at some point, but at the end of the day, I'm not an expert. You are the expert here, But uh, how you can predict what to do in Arabia? Because for 4 lakes, for other maps, maybe you can prepare. For
Mhm.
Arabia, you can have in a good shape, you have a great day, and you are prepared, yes. But depending on a lot of factors, right? And
Mhm.
then we can
Yeah.
have a debate about that because you can give me also your opinion, but I don't want to interview you. I am the one that interviewed today,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
But that's what I think. And we have seen exactly today what happened, mainly in Winchester versus Margugu, because today was those crazy cities. And I really think that in many tournaments in NAC4 that has been recently done, you can have crazy games. And some of the craziest games are always in Arabia. You know, that's why I think, and I enjoyed a lot with Warlords. I talked with you about Warlords back
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah.
did it. I think it's great, and I hope that maybe I'm spoiling questions, but I hope that I can host more Warlords, you know.
Yeah.
But I think Arabia is the map for me.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, just talking about like your,
And
how the
well,
map.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, that I hosted Kino Desert 1 when I almost wasn't in full time, you know, because I hosted Kino Desert 1 with donations for the stream, you know, close to $5,000, and we were super hyped. It was insane.
It was a great event, yeah.
And look now how we are now with the 5th edition. With the obviously you check the quality of Kino Desert 1 and check now the quality. What is this, you know? But I can tell you that Kino Desert 1, for example, financially, even, I don't want to talk about that, but it was the tournament that financially gave me the most ever. Kino Desert 1,
wow.
you know?
Wow, yeah.
Even more than any other tournament that I've done till now. So, I don't know if it's the community feeling that the community put the prize. The grand final was Viper versus Leary 5-4, you know?
Crazy series, yeah.
Crazy back in the days with the graphics on full. I don't know. And then from there, you always keep like that nostalgic feeling, you know? But well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, 100%. And, moving on here. So for the first time in KOTD history, and I like that you mentioned other KOTDs because I will talk about them a little bit.
Okay.
But for the first time in KOTD, we now have all 32 players having to qualify for the main event. What made you decide to go through this path, and were you satisfied with the results?
I mean, you and also other people were giving in the MembTV server events a lot of feedback about that. But we really wanted to do this from the start, you know?
Okay.
The problem is that it's time. You know, just look how many games we're going to have to do now. Also time for me, for my admins, and all that time. We're going to be doing now till 28th May, except the next Monday, that is going to be 14, non-stop. We're going to be non-stop working and streaming. I love streaming, but it's not the same, and you know that. For you, it's the same to play some chill rank games or tournament games. Imagine having to play tournament like today, every day, till 28th May.
Yeah.
But for me, the casting or streaming is not the same kind of a stream. And you might think, well, you have a lot of viewers. It's great feeling. Yes, but it's great pressure. It's super exhausting, you know? And that's why we didn't make this, because with the previous format, it was only 2 cities per day, more chill, less time, you can relax more, some free days. Now we don't have free days, but I really believe that 32 players main event is the best. It's insane, in my opinion, because it helps a lot for the players mainly, you know, because it's a lot more competitive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
You have a bad day, you can still recover. In the other system, it was the round of 32, then you lose, or a bad seeding, or a seeding that you don't think that is the right one, because the seeding is kind of subjective at some point, because we don't have a professional system to really evaluate what is the best seeding.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so I have a few fun questions now as a part of a prediction. I want to hear from you for the main event. So I'll ask you a few questions, and you have to answer basically as fast as possible, whatever name comes to mind. So the first one is, who is the dark horse of the event for you?
The dark horse?
Dark horse, yeah.
Oof. I cannot be spontaneous. You know, like the dark horse is who's going to be the surprise. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
It is very, very hard. But let's say MBL, because MBL has been always special, you know, with the gameplay, and he's now lately trying to be now full-time finally, and you know that in his recent tournaments he didn't have a great performance, and maybe he can be the surprise, the positive surprise.
Okay.
I give you names.
Yeah, makes sense. Who's the winner?
Oof. I honestly think that is the hardest one. I think you are the favorite, you know? Okay. But I think between you, Leary, and Viper, it has to be. And I really don't know. For what I said previously with Arabia, I think anything can really happen.
100%, yeah.
But I really feel that you are correct one city. And it's not, I'm not telling you because you are in front of me and doing the interview. I mean, because I think you are playing, I think you are playing your best AoE ever.
Thank you.
your
Thank you.
results
Wow.
also told by itself,
Mhm.
and well, uh, I don't know. Let's see. If you are I'm telling you that you are the favorite, but I think with
Now
Lily
the
and
pressure's
Viper,
on me, you know?
no, but with Lily and Viper, you are the favorite.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
number one. But
100%.
I don't know. You like that pressure? Come on.
Okay, so the second question was supposed to be who's second place, but you already covered that. So me, Leary, and Viper, definitely the three favorites for you. Who is the most likely to underperform compared to their usual standards? So this one has a negative connotation. If you don't want to say the name, that's completely fine. But just for you, if you want to go ahead and answer it, let me know.
I feel that Winchester is not playing his best. I mean,
Okay.
I'm always honest. I love him. I
Yeah,
consider him my
I
friend.
respect that.
And
Mhm.
I think Winchester has to improve because if not, I mean, it's also have that he reached the grand final in Kino at 4, so he also has some pressure,
Mhm.
and you
Yeah,
expect more
100%.
from him as well. So he has to step up his level, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. I love that you're so straightforward about it. All love between you and him, I'm sure, but saying it how it is, I think will help him, if anything, to hear it. And then the
Always honest,
last
man.
question, of course, who will take the longest to resign in a game?
Oh man, the longest run in the game, MBL. I mean, I mean, seriously, man. You were expecting other name?
I mean, I think Mr. Yo and ACCM are close. Like for me, it's those three are like,
Okay. Now
yeah,
you are okay. Now we can debate about that. It's possible
yeah,
too.
yeah,
It's possible too.
yeah.
My goodness.
Those are the top three in that category. Okay, and talking about games now, what kind of Arabia games excite you the most? When you see like forward, crazy pressure, what kind of game makes it the most fun for you as a fan and as a caster?
Active games. And active
Okay.
games is not totally going forward because you can go forward and
Hmm.
then you unbalance your economy completely. I'm usually when I'm casting, I'm trying to check as fast as possible everything because when you go forward,
Hmm.
you also have to control or your echo as well. So when I see, for example, games like the players are going aggro and then you check idle TC, barely have idle tone center, days rate. Well, the first game of your series today is a perfect example. Crazy action during all the game. Has
Hmm.
been a moment of pause in that game for you? No.
No, and we're just talking for the viewers. The game versus Jack, of course, the game one, and yeah, that was a very active one. So that's a good way to talk about it.
And it's active
Mhm.
game and no matter who is winning or is losing, you enjoy because there's not a moment to breathe. I mean, I couldn't think
Yeah,
what you are going to do next because there's no time.
yeah,
Those are the best games by far.
love it.
For
Love
me,
that
it's the
answer.
best. Is
Yeah.
the best game in the tournament till now.
Wow.
So crazy. So it was
Okay.
when you are playing. Maybe you don't see how good can be the game after you maybe rewatch later. It was
Yeah,
sick.
actually, that's true. That's true. When I'm in the zone, I just focus on what I have to do and what needs to get done. But then when I look at the game after, I can actually appreciate it of how good it was. Sometimes. So I like that you said that. But I definitely agree with you that the active games for me as a player are the most fun, and for me as a viewer. And I'm glad you also think the same. Talking about the balance patch that we had recently. So we had, for those who don't know, a massive balance change right before the qualifiers of King of the Deserts, and it was mainly focused on infantry. The players have had a few weeks to adapt. Do you think that we're going to see more infantry play in King of the Desert 5 because of this?
I'm gonna be honest again. I'm maybe not gonna get a sponsor anymore. So
Yeah.
I think it has been overhyped.
Okay.
Mm, and so far, we are not. We have seen a couple of games with the Balts. I
Mhm.
remember the day with the Aztecs versus the Vikings. It's true that the Malay two militias with the +1 armor or three, even if you do, but it can do really good damage.
Mhm.
But so far, I mean, we're just starting. I don't think we're going to see a lot more because they still lack one thing very important, in my opinion: the mobility.
Yeah.
The mobility. I
100%.
mean, they can be very strong, uh, but if you surprise your opponent with them, it can be a lot more snowball than before,
True.
right?
Yeah.
But if the game is going a standard approach, I think the archers will dominate still against them.
Mhm.
I
The weakness that the
supposed to be.
infantry hasn't really been fixed. Like it's still a non-mobile melee unit, so archers will kill it. Knights really do well. So
Yeah,
yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. But at least maybe going towards Imperial Age champions might be a bit
that's
better.
for sure.
Hard to
That's for
see.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking in the early game. I mean, in the late
Yeah.
game, we might see completely different things. The games are going
Mhm.
for the longer game because the new upgrade is also give. They are super tanky, like really, really
Yeah. Yeah.
tanky. So yeah, that for sure that can change. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Um. All right. So talking a little bit more about being a tournament host now. So what is the hardest part about being a tournament host? If you had to pin it on one thing, that's a loaded question. I know, especially
No,
since you're in a host right now.
I, I will say that is everything,
Okay.
because what is a good tournament? It's also that subjective that what is really a good tournament,
Mhm.
the one that has the best setting and what is the best settings, how many viewers are watching because you want that the most viewers you get, maybe you're gonna get more editions. I think it's really complicated, and you feel a lot of pressure when this happening. I remember
Okay.
when Jordan made the resurgence. Then I talked with him behind the scenes, obviously. Sorry, Jordan.
Mhm.
And then he understood me more. He
Mhm.
he felt that pressure, and it's it's complicated, It's really
Mhm.
complicated, And now I'm gonna tell something that maybe, well, I'm gonna tell anyway.
Mhm.
Till you are not in that position, you don't know. Obviously, I don't know what is be a pro player, But for example,
Mhm.
as a tournament host, I have missed a lot of things in my real life. You cannot even
Okay.
imagine. A lot of things, like a communion with my nephew. The last Sunday, I missed the birthday from my grandmom for the qualifiers. For my mom, no, for my mom. They were all, for
Mhm.
example, together, my family, and I couldn't be. And this is
Wow.
a
Yeah.
thing that when if we want that this game grow, we have to make this more priority than it is. And I'm talking now everyone, not only
Mhm.
everyone. We have to prioritize because if not, we don't go to the next level. And I do
Mhm.
this kind of event with the overlays as we were talking and so on because I really want that we go to the next level.
Yep.
Like you have been in line, we have been in line with Red Bull and so on, and for that we all have to commit. If we don't commit, it's not possible.
Mhm.
That's my
Yep.
opinion, And then what happened when there is a tournament and I'm host? I'm committed 24/7, and that's exhausting. Really
Yeah.
exhausting. Really, really
Yeah.
exhausting. I want to.
Okay.
I want that tournament finish already. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, yeah, no, I feel you, and I like that you mentioned that it's everyone has to commit, and this is something I learned as a player as well over the past few years. That honestly, players, tournament hosts, admins, it's really us all working together that will create the best event. We all need to be on the same page, all helping each other out, and all acting as one unit that will. Because the ultimate goal, as you said, is to elevate the scene, to bring the scene, higher, and hopefully grow the game in in years to come. Okay, so that was the hardest part. What is the best part about being a tournament host?
Oh well, you as a streamer, when there's hype games, when there's good series, and you see the chat that you cannot read a single word, and people is happy, it's so exciting.
Hmm.
It's really exciting. And when there's moments like when Dowd won Red Bull World 3 and I wasn't the host, I was casting,
Yeah.
and you see that he was emotional, crying, when you see, obviously there's always a sad part, but
Hmm.
that's happened always in life, but you have to focus
That's competition.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's competition. But when you see the happiness, other day, Classic Pro, sadly with the situation that there is in Ukraine, but winning the first series like he did is $250 more for him. So that's a lot for being in Ukraine already,
Yeah.
Those moments, when Leary won and his daddy came in. You remember in 1K of the Desert, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
the third edition. Then his daddy came and, those moments, and when you are the host, you feel like more responsible of those happiness, even if it's great when it's other tournaments as well. But when you are the host,
Yeah.
it feels that you are contributing to them. So this is nice,
Love that answer.
because
Yeah.
a donation is great and so on. You need it because there's a lot of expenses to cover. But those moments
Hmm.
is what you remember. Eh,
Yeah.
It's is so nice. And if there's serious, crazy serious 4-3 or so close, that's. I
The
mean, I
hype is
mean that I love
crazy.
the game.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah.
You don't
I
forget.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Talking about the other KOTDs now. So out of the 1 to 4, which one is the most memorable for you?
Well, always the first, right? I mean, always the first is
That's what it started.
because it's where it started. It's the feeling you never imagine that it's going to be that hype. And we got every KOTD. We have been getting a lot more viewers. Every edition
Hmm.
has been more viewership, which
Hmm.
makes sense. That's
That's
why
good.
we keep
Yeah.
going, because if it drops
Yeah.
the viewers, the Titanic, But the first one, it was really special. Also, the Arabia, that Arabia, probably you remember. Now we complain about the map.
Oh my
Those were
God. That
terrible
Arabia was
maps.
something else. Yeah.
Those Arabia were something else. I mean, I still
Yeah.
remember one game, Lear versus the Viper, that Lear win with Mongols against Incas. Incas in that moment there were those Incas with villages with research in the start. Remember, so
Hmm.
they have already in the feudal, they have all the upgrades and everything, and he won with one TC, and did millions of cabars. I don't know, crazy games, but
Hmm.
it was because I have never felt that hype in the channel and in the event. It was great. And then, for example, I'm very critical as well with myself. KOTD2, we did bad settings. It was a bad setting we picked, and
Hmm.
I didn't like it. We never did it anymore. I mean, still the series then in the latest part was great, but the middle, it wasn't great. And then KOTD3 and KOTD4 it was very nice. All them
Okay.
was nice, but I think that the best settings are definitely by far in this edition.
Awesome.
I think so.
Yeah. And okay, when can we expect a LAN event from you? Is this something you want to do? Would this something you'd be interested in doing
Okay, I'm gonna tell you that I was very close to make it this time. You know,
for KOTD?
yes, I was
Okay.
searching, I was trying, I was searching for sponsors. I was almost able to do it. I have something done in Barcelona. This is something that nobody knows. Now people knows.
Okay. Okay.
But the problem is, I had to decide. We need to spend probably a lot more money that we are doing in Kino Desert 5,
Hmm.
and a lot less players will benefit, because in a LAN, being realistic, that they can go 8,
Yeah.
more or less, more or less, and then maybe I will have to reduce the price pool. I mean, a LAN with 40 or 50K is fine, and also you can also make like Nearly did in NAC4, that you maybe can put the donation and so on. But it's true that it's gonna be a lot harder for many other players to get the spot there.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then I had to take a decision and think, the LAN I'm going to enjoy more personally. Probably it's gonna be
Hmm.
more job, harder to do. Yes, and sadly didn't get more sponsors. If we have got more sponsors, maybe I will still do it. But I think the LAN has to be done with more players. Like at
Okay.
least like some we did with Red Bull, that it was almost 16. I think Red Bull 5 was 16
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
14.
Red
Yeah,
Red Bull 5 was 16.
that's ideal, because
Hmm.
16 is still a good number of players that the people has to qualify. You can invite maybe the previous winner and so on, but it's still good amount of spots. But if I do right now a LAN with 8 players, I think this for the community is a better event than a LAN right now.
Okay.
And that's why I gave up for now. It's one of my, let's say, dream. I will love to do it, but
Yeah.
well, resources are limited, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you make it a LAN event, you
And
just
you want
need
to make it
way
great.
more. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
you want to
Yeah.
make it great, because
Hmm.
I could do, I mean, I think the online event that we're doing are already very high. I mean, obviously I'm not objective, I'm subjective, but I think we are trying
Hmm.
to make the best events possible. And then if you make a LAN, you want to make a lot better than those. You cannot make
Yeah.
a LAN and then be in a cheap LAN, right? Then
Yeah. Yeah. There's no
so
point of doing that. Yeah.
yeah, I hope that I could do that.
Yeah, and honestly, I wish you the best, because for me personally, the LAN events are the most exciting, and I know you'd do a good job if you had the opportunity to make a LAN. So I wish you the best with that. I'm excited if ever something comes, maybe the thing in
Well,
Barcelona. I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, I try to put the cameras in my events because
Mhm.
I love that interaction, and at least with the cameras, the viewers feel it a little bit closer. It's not a LAN event, but
Mhm.
they feel that connection with the players, and it's more special that if today there was no cameras and no interviews at the end, it's a lot colder. For that, I like to put
Mhm.
those, and at least, well, it's something that make it feel a little bit closer, and it's not like a LAN because the LAN we are together, and then always
Yeah.
better, and with the crowd the last time and so on. So it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so for the last question, your profession is casting, of course, tournament hosting, casting. But I heard you say recently on stream that your hobby is to play Age of Empires 2 as well. Does watching AV2 make you eager to play the game yourself?
Mm, I mean, I love playing. Like for me, mm, if it's not tournament, since I have casted a lot right now,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy a lot anymore casting regular games
Okay.
because I need that the games has a lot more meaning. When you are
Hmm.
done, I mean, let's be honest. When you do something for so many years, obviously it's not the same feeling that it was before. Now I enjoy a lot with the tournament, and then
Hmm.
uh, I prefer play. Look, but I need a coach. Can
Yeah.
you coach me?
Actually, we could if you want to climb. We
No,
could
no,
set
no.
something up.
No, the
But
thing is that I like to relax when I play,
yeah, yeah,
and sometimes I just go to let's go whatever strategy, and I go forward with 6 villages. I go crazy strategies. It's
yeah.
like I don't know if that's the question that you are wanted to
No,
know
it
why
is.
I
Yeah,
like to play. And
yeah.
because I like the game a lot. I mean,
Hmm.
my viewers enjoy a lot the casting. They enjoy. If I cast, I get double the viewers, triple the
Hmm.
viewers. I don't know why, because I just scream, "Ah!" and MBL do it perfectly fine. But I believe that the hype, I think that they feel that connection, that happiness with the game. And
Hmm.
it's true that I don't start if I cast, for example, I cast many games for you when you are playing ladder, and then I'm casting
Yeah,
very chill in the start, very chill. But if the game, even if it's normal, it come crazy, then I change. Then I connect it like if it was a tournament. But if
yeah,
not,
yeah.
I'm just casting normal, like chilling, hanging out with
Hmm.
the stream. But then I love to play. I like to play. And I have got some very nice games in ladder 1v1, sometimes winning to higher players than me. And I know that nobody listen. It feels good to win. It feels good to
Of
win. When
course.
you win and you feel that has been a nice game. I have won to some 19 plus sometimes and some 2K Smurf. I remember sometime that a Smurf game. I remember in the channel there was a player that it was 19 wins, 1 loss, and I was like, okay. Then I was focused because and I won, and I was like, who is that guy? He will never tell me. But he was
Yeah,
very very good. I don't know how, and it felt good. So, but
yeah, yeah.
I'm too old for learning now. I am too old for learning now. I know
That's
that you
fair
want to go
enough.
to the.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to. I don't want to learn. I don't have the
That's fair
patience,
enough.
the energy, and the time because I know, and I want to give the credit that you and the pros like you deserve to become that level. Yeah, you might have talent and so on, but also require a lot of commitment, and it's
Yeah.
impressive. It's really
Thank you.
impressive. No,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
100%.
I know because I play the game, so I know that
Yeah.
to have that concentration, even if you have the mechanics and the APM, whatever, but you have to focus a lot there, and that require a lot of energy too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I mean, the dedication from all the pros, it's 100% needed to compete at the top. But this is pretty much the end of the interview, ma'am. It's honestly been a really big pleasure for me to sit and chat. I'm glad you agreed to this, and I hope that the viewers will enjoy listening and hearing some of your thoughts. Because for me personally, I think it's really important for the host to talk about his event, and I like for the people behind the scenes, or sorry, for the viewers to see what it's like behind the scenes and to get to know a little bit more about the process for you, as a host and a caster. So thank you so much for coming down, and I hope you guys enjoyed the interview.
Thank you so much. I only want to say before we go that behind the scenes that the big shout out to Rainbow. Rainbow
Mhm.
is helping with the tournament like crazy. Also, of course, Krasini too. I'm telling Rainbow first because he's less known. Krasini is now, with
Yeah.
the Red Bull and everyone know how it is. And basically with him and then the guy that is helping me with the graphics, with the overlays, Akame and so on. we are four basically doing all this, and that's not a lot, and it's great. Well, thank you so much for your time and for the interview too. Hopefully people enjoy.
Thank you, man. Take it easy.
Take care, man.